again. Every year, about 6 million people visit the Louvre in Paris to see the painting of the Mona Lisa. That was, of course, before the onset of the pandemic. However, it is a painting that continues to fascinate and captivate people. I wonder, do you have a favourite picture or painting? I'd like to share with you a favourite picture of mine. To be precise, it's an icon and it shows 3 people resembling angels and arranged around a table. And your first and polite reaction might be, that's just 3 angelic figures sitting round a table. However, on closer inspection, there is a lot going on here. The Russian painter Rublev painted his icon in 1410 and presents us with 3 figures sitting around a table with a spare place at the front yet to be filled. It's reminiscent of the Old Testament story of Abraham being visited by 3 angels to whom he offers food. In recent times, Christians have identified the figures as God the Father, Jesus, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. So, what's the point? Well, without using lots of words, the painter is showing us what he thinks God is like and the way in which God invites us to be with God. 3 figures are inviting us to their table. And you can see there is a space already waiting for us to join God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. In picture form, Rublev shows us the invitation God extends to us to sit at God's table and enjoy God's presence. The icon is emphasizing with God, there is always an invitation. If we are part of a faith community, God will invite us to go deeper. And if we're not, then God's invitation is to come in and be part. You're welcome. The window of opportunity with God is permanently open and 24/7. It's a matter of finding where God is and joining in. Notice the 3 angelic figures have similar faces, suggesting God is one, and their different coloured clothes, showing us that we can know and experience God in different ways. For instance, as God the Creator, or as God revealed in Jesus, and as God the Holy Spirit. Interestingly, Jesus in the centre has 2 fingers on the table, reminding us that he was a down-to-earth human being who ate and drank with us, as well as being God. Notice too the tree behind him, probably a reference to the cross on which he died and later rose to new life 3 days later. And so the picture with great economy tells us much about the Christian faith. Jesus looks to the Father on the left of the picture, and in the background is a large house or dwelling place, a mansion perhaps. Rublev points to the promise and the generosity of God, described in John's Gospel, where it says, God has prepared an eternal dwelling place for us, a house with so many rooms. It's a mansion, no less. Finally, the Spirit seated to the right of the picture touches the table, thus earthing the life and light of God for people to experience today. Behind the Spirit, a mountain is shown, and traditionally a place where people feel close to God. It may in fact be a reference to the Ascension or the Transfiguration. For me, the picture is about entering into the fellowship of God and experiencing God in many and various ways. The icon is peaceful and calming, and especially helpful in the time in which we live. Spending time with this icon will, of course, reveal much more. It's a picture I find wonderfully instructive and reassuring, and I hope that you might too. It's widely accessible online. And a prayer written by a former parishioner of mine. Lord, grant that should I pass you in the street, I would have the sight to see you, that should you speak, I would hear that still small voice, and should you call, I would have the courage to follow.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore.